Yo, what's up everyone? I hope you're doing well. This is going to be my non-spoiler review on the final season and the newest season of Barry Season 4, which just ended. So I'm not going to spoil anything in this season, but let's get right to the review.
Dating in LA killed my acting teacher's girlfriend.
Alright, so the story of this season kind of picked up where we left last season. We're starting in Barry is in prison. He's trying to reconnect with Sally while others want him dead. They're going after him while he's in prison. I was kind of worried about this plot from the trailer because me and others I talked to, I thought that Barry was going to be in jail the whole season, which I would not have enjoyed because you're just not flexing really Bill Hader's talent too much. But Bill Hader and the developers do something really interesting halfway through the season that I'm not going to spoil, but it's a very interesting twist and a different way to establish the plot going forward, which I did not expect, but they really kept the story going halfway through, which I enjoyed a lot, and I really enjoyed this story a lot. There are a little bit of story beats and episodes that weren't as good as the other episodes, but I gotta say I enjoyed where Bill Hader took the series in a whole for the final season. The cast, though, this show's main cast is actually pretty small. There's only like 5 or 6 people, main players in the cast, if you're going to be honest about it. So I'm just going to say that Bill Hader, Sarah Goldberg, Henry Winkler, and Anthony Carrigan all did a fantastic job this season. But if I'm going to talk about really the standouts of this season, I think that Hader and Carrigan were doing the most here because they had the most to do emotion-wise and plot-wise, because you really have those two characters are really like the big standoff characters this whole season, and what really carries the plot into the start of the show and really ends the whole show, because those two people really do have some great moments here. And even Anthony Carrigan has this one episode before the midway change that really gets you, because he has to do something that he doesn't want to do, but it's a big emotional swing right there for him. And Bill Hader's scenes in the prison all show his emotions so well. He really nails it. He nails it so good. I was just stunned by his acting work in this, because he acted in this show and he also directed all the episodes this season, which is really impressive for him to get this well of an acting job this season, but do so well directing at the same time. So I think those two just did so well. And I'm going to talk about Bill Hader's directing for a little bit. Bill Hader basically directed some episodes, I think season 3, maybe some in season 2 or before, but I think season 3 was the first time he directed this show. But this season he changed to full-time director, directed all the episodes, and you could definitely feel the change here. There's a different change in style that's different from season 3, and I thought that his style directing really worked for this whole season. And I thought that him directing this show was interesting, because now I want to see him direct a horror movie, because there's a specific scene in this show in some of the later episodes that really remind me of horror scenes, and it just makes me want to see him direct a hardcore horror movie, because that scene that I'm talking about that you guys don't know about, because there's no spoilers, I'm not going to talk about it. It's actually pretty creepy how he does it, but I thought his direction was done so well. I really enjoyed his camera angles that he did. His whole his whole I don't know, something about his directing really did change the style of the show up that really is different, but I can't put my finger on it, but the style is different. Let's just say that style is kind of different, and I liked it a lot, and I think that he should do a lot more directing now. I mean, I would love to see Bill Hader continue acting a lot, but I feel like he should move on and try to get some more directing credits on movies, try to direct some different genres. That would be so cool. A sci-fi movie, a horror movie would be really cool. But I'm going to talk about that mid-season change without trying to talk about any spoilers, so I'm going to make it pretty fast. There was a big change in the middle of the season that I was not expecting, and I wasn't fully on board with it at first, but I thought it worked better and better as time went on, and I got more used to it. But at the start of that change, I wasn't feeling it that much, but once we got to those final 3 episodes, I was like, okay, I'm on board with it. I'm used to it. And I'm like, okay, I'm here for it. But I thought that the change, though, was a little jarring at first, and it got me kind of thinking, oh, I don't know about this change. I don't know if it's going to work for me. But those final episodes, it worked for me a lot, because the plot really came through and carried the change. I'm going to talk about the Emmys. This one's kind of hard. It's harder than Succession to talk about, because this is a comedy show, and it goes in the comedy category, which we have a lot of shows that have entered that category in the last year, and there's going to be a lot more comedy shows to come out this year. So it's going to be hard for Barry to really find wins here, but I think that it deserves a lot of wins because it's its final season. And I think that Bill Hader deserves a win for his acting here, and Anthony Carrigan deserves a win for his supporting performance. I think he'll be in supporting for this, because Anthony Carrigan I thought should have won last year for supporting, but I think he should win this year for his one episode where he had a big emotional swing at the audience. And I do think that they could win for the acting, but I think that Bill Hader's big chance here is to win for his directing, because there's so many episodes here where his directing really shines. And I think that he's going to maybe win for that, because I think he has a bigger chance for that than his acting, as I feel like someone else could take the acting category away from him. But overall, I think that's the Emmys. You know, it's going to be hard to tell because comedy is such a big contender these past years, bigger than drama. But I'm going to get my seasons ranked. I thought every season was so funny, so great. I'm just going to make this quick. Season 3 is the best for me, then season 2, then season 4, which is this one, and season 1 is the worst. But I think they're all pretty great in my opinion. You know, they're all kind of like the same in my opinion. They're all like the same quality wise, but they're all great. You know, I have a fun time with them all. Overall, though, I think that this season was great, and the comedy here was great. There's a lot of unexpected cameos too. Like if you haven't seen this season and you're just going into it, there's a lot of cameos that you can expect in this season, which were all nice to see. They're all pretty funny to watch. I enjoyed all of them. But I gotta say, the acting this season was really good. Bill Hader's direction was really good. The mid-season change was a little jarring, as I said, but I think it worked a little bit better once the season was ending. So overall, I'm gonna give Barry season 4 a 4 out of 5. I had a great time watching it, and I thought that the comedy worked a lot. I don't think that the mid-season change worked as much as I wanted it to, and the story didn't work as much as I wanted to at some points, but I still had a great time, and I still thought that this show is just one of my favorite shows. It's such a great comedy. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Leave your thoughts down below if you have seen it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.